Welcome back folks, I'm Lloyd Purvis and this is Run4Adventure. Thanks for joining us for another video today, and as you can see it's a bit of a video with a difference. So you join me here in the lounge sitting down on this nice comfy beanbag, and we've had a hectic couple of days, that's for sure. So we headed off up country to go and visit the guys from Harrier Trail in Derby. Always great to go up there and catch up, such a lovely bunch of people. But we also got to look at and work on some of the new designs they're planning. Hopefully these products are going to be coming out next year, early next year in fact. And obviously I can't say a lot about them because it's it's not top secret, but obviously I can't talk a lot about them. But I can say one thing for sure. The new kit is looking awesome and I think you guys are going to love it. So like I say, hopefully that will be launching sometime early in 2024. Within the space of 24 hours, I think I drove for about 13 or 14 hours. Myself and Liga got about 4.5 hours sleep. So as you can imagine, I'm pretty weary. The body and the legs are aching, but we do have a long 18-mile run planned on the coast path for tomorrow. So I thought I would sit here, do a bit of recovery in the old MyoPumps, get them on, go through a nice 30-minute session to pump all that sort of toxin build-up that I would have in my lower leg for sure while I was driving the car, and hopefully that will prepare me for tomorrow's run and my legs will feel nice and refreshed. But the good thing about the MyoPumps and recovery is I can sit here getting a good 30 minutes of recovery, but I can multitask. So I thought I would try and answer as many of your questions as possible. Also, while we're here, there is some quite sad news. In fact, some very sad news, but we'll get onto that in a minute. So let's dive into the video and answer as many of your questions as possible in the space of 30 minutes. Right, okay, so we've got the MyoPump zipped up. Let's turn on the machine. We're going to go for a 30-minute session because I think my legs really need it, and we're going to have them on the maximum compression setting. So 30 minutes. There will be a bit of noise. Hopefully it's not too loud and it doesn't drive you crazy while you're listening to me answer these questions, but let's get them started. So the session is started. I've got my mobile phone here so we can pull up YouTube and pull up all the comments and the questions that you guys have been asking. But just before we do that, like I said, there is some sad news to report at the channel, and as we headed up country yesterday in the adventure bus, I think we got about an hour out of Cornwall. The van started to make a bit of a funny noise. Didn't think a lot of it at the time, but it rapidly got worse, so quickly pulled over. There was a real sort of loud rattling noise coming from the engine bay, which is never going to be a positive thing. Unfortunately, we sat there, I rang up RAC and we waited 8 hours. Yes, 8 hours in a lay-by to get a recovery truck out. They eventually turned up. I couldn't believe it took so long, so it wasn't a great start to the day. They loaded the van back onto the back of a flatbed and drove us back to Cornwall. The guy who came was really helpful, really nice guy. I've literally just heard back from the garage today and it's not good, guys. I think they said something about the big end bearings gone in the engine and it's just not worth fixing it with the age of the van and the mileage that it's done. And there's lots of other things that kind of need to be done on the van anyway. So unfortunately, I think it's the end of the adventure bus, which is so sad. You know, it's really sad because we've had some incredible trips in the bus. You know, we've driven all over Europe in the bus, made some amazing memories in it. It's so comfortable to sleep in. It's like a proper little, you know, compact home from home. And until yesterday, it never let us down. That engine had never skipped a beat. And the van is a 2006 and it's done over 150,000 miles. And like I said, it's never let us down until now. But it's really not going to be worth ploughing more money into it. So obviously, if you followed the channel, you'll know we've got a big European trip planned, and that's in about 3 weeks' time. So we are in a very sticky predicament, that's for sure. Anyway, that's enough of the bad news. Let's get on to answering some of the comments and some of the questions. So let's put up a question clock on the screen and we'll see how many we get answered while I'm doing this 30-minute session. So let's grab my phone, Right, so the first one, let's dive straight in. It's the Fuel Cell Rebel V2 video. Someone's commented, Michael, the outsole on the shoe looks slippery. Can you run them in the rain without getting injured? Well, I've run that shoe in the rain and it may look slippery, the outsole, to you, but I've had no traction issues with it at all. Good levels of traction, even on wet tarmac, wet pavement. So yeah, the Fuel Cell Rebel V3 from New Balance, I would say you can definitely run it in the rain and you're not gonna have a problem. Good levels of traction. Right, one question, get it on the clock. Let's work through, see what else we've got. Someone said, great running footage, awesome surroundings. Cheers. Yeah, that was for our video that we did recently on the Endorphin riff by Saucony. It was a stunning evening, that's for sure. If you haven't seen that video, definitely worth checking out. Right, moving down, this is the SpeedGo first impressions video. I watched the video on the Zenau 2 as well. Both look great. How do they compare to each other, and which one do you prefer? Well, the SpeedGo 5 and the Zenau 2 are very, very different shoes, even though they're both from the Hoka brand and they're both trail running shoes. So I would say if you like a really deep cushion midsole on your trail shoes, then the SpeedGo is the one to go for. But if you like a more sort of minimal, responsive feel and a lighter shoe to run in, then the Zenau 2 will definitely give you that, because there's a massive weight difference between the two. Personally, for me, I really like the Zenau 2. It gives you that very fitted, lightweight, responsive feel. And yes, it is more minimal when it comes to the depth of cushioning in the midsole, but I still found it very, very comfortable. And the levels of grip on the outsole are really good as well. So yeah, if I had to pick between the two, I would go for the new Hoka Zenau 2. Right, so we're looking at the Kayless Fuga Air 2 hydration vest video. Someone's asked, which one's better? Comparing this to the Salomon Advanced Skin 5 set. I'd actually say they're both really good packs. You know, I would be happy to run in either of them. My go-to pack when it comes to racing is the Salomon Advanced 12 Skin. I think that's a fantastic pack. I don't know whether you want a smaller volume pack, you know, 5 litres. I personally would always go for more volume. So if you're thinking of the Advanced Skin 5, I would probably go for the Advanced Skin 12 set, because you can run it like the 5, but then if you do need to store more kit in it, you've got all that extra volume, and then it saves you buying the 5 litre vest and then realising you need more space and then having to buy the 12. But like I said, the Kayless Fuga Air 2 is also a real quality hydration vest. It's got some unique features on it. You've got the little boa adjustment system on the front, which does work really well, but it can be a little bit fiddly taking it on and off. But like I say, they both run really well. I personally, if I had to choose a game, would probably go for the Salomon Advanced Skin 12 set rather than the 5 set. Hope that helps. Right, so again, under the Zenau 2 review, I've got, will this shoe work for ankles that pronate? Well, all ankles pronate, that's for sure. We need a bit of pronation in our run. I think they might be talking about overpronation, and that's a bit of a tricky area when it comes to running off-road and on the trails, because you know, we're going to be running on uneven ground, so your ankles need to pronate to handle that uneven surface. And a lot of the trail shoes, in fact pretty much all of them, would be classed as neutral in structuring. So you don't see trail shoes with, you know, heavy support medially on the inside of the shoe like you do in a lot of road running shoes, because the road is a flat, repetitive, hard environment, and if you have got a lot of overpronation, then sometimes a little bit of medial support under the instep really helps. When it comes to the Zenau 2, it is not a shoe for overpronation, it's a trail shoe, and it is a pretty stripped back trail shoe. So, you know, if you feel you need a bit of support in your shoes, then maybe it's not going to offer you that. But like I said, when we're on the trails, we don't need as much support in our shoes as we do when we're hitting that hard stuff, the tarmac. So yeah, like I say, Zenau 2 is a neutral shoe, not a shoe designed for overpronation. On to the next question, and this is coming from one of our latest first impressions videos where I took the Merrell Agility Peak 5 out for his first run. Loved that shoe out there on the first run. Really remind me of the SpeedGo 3s, which again was one of my favourite trail shoes of all time. We've got here, looks like a very versatile shoe. I always go up half a size in the SpeedGos. Would you do the same in these, Lloyd? Well, I actually found that the Merrell shoe was true to size. So I had it in a UK 9.5 and the length was just right, and it really did fit my foot shape well. Whereas I'm very similar to you, in a SpeedGo I would go up half a size to a UK 10. So to answer your question, is I wouldn't. I'd stick with your normal size in the Agility Peak 5. So yeah, nice simple question to answer that one. Hope that helps. Again, another question under the same video, and it says versus the Long Sky 2 question mark. I haven't run in the Long Sky 2, so very hard to compare it to that new Agility Peak 5. Maybe it's a shoe I need to try. Get in the comments and let me know. If you've run in the Long Sky 2, do you think it's worth giving it a go and maybe comparing it against the new Agility Peak 5? So get in the comments below. Oh, got one here. So under the same video, are you going to be testing out the Nike Ultrafly, their new trail running shoe? If you haven't seen it, it's going to be a carbon plated ZoomX midsole sort of performance race day trail shoe. And the big news about it is that Nike have actually finally put some Vibram Mega Grip rubber on the outsole, which is a big deal indeed. For a brand like Nike to do that and go outside of the Nike world and use another company like Vibram is massive, but it's definitely, in my eyes, the right thing to do. Yes, we're definitely going to try and get hold of a pair of the Ultraflies and test them here if we can. It's a super hype shoe. I know what's going to happen. It's going to launch and they're going to sell out, and then you're going to see them online for double, triple the price, which is so frustrating. They're not runners buying the shoe to wear them, they're just people trying to upsell it and rip people off, which really does my head in. So I've got lots of reminders set on my phone, I've got an email reminder, so hopefully we'll get in there early and we'll manage to bag a pair. £230 here in the UK. It's a very expensive shoe, so it's going to have to perform well to warrant that price point. But yep, hopefully we'll get our hands on a pair of the new trail shoes from Nike and give them a thorough testing. Okay, another question here from a video quite a while back. So it's on the Trabuco 11, a trail running shoe from ASICS, and it says, thanks for the video, no problem, glad you enjoyed it. Which one do you think performs better in terms of traction? So the Trabuco 11 or the Mafati Speed 4s? They're going to mainly use them for hiking trips, so not necessarily running. I would actually say that the grip and traction on both of those shoes is really good. That ASICS grip rubber is fantastic, super sticky, and the lug depth is pretty good on the Trabuco 11. But I would still say maybe the Mafati with a Vibram Mega Grip light base outsole rubber is going to give you a little bit more traction. It's a little bit grippier on wet rocks, and the lug pattern on the Mafati is a bit chunkier, so maybe it'd give you a bit more traction if you were, say, hiking in very wet, muddy conditions as well. But anyone out there who's used Vibram Mega Grip light base on an outsole of a trail running shoe will know how sticky that rubber is and how much traction it gives you. So yeah, I would personally say they're both very grippy trail shoes, but the Mafati Speed 4 would probably be the best option when it comes to your hiking. Right, moving on. I don't know how we're doing on the answer clock, but it feels like we're getting through lots of questions, so this is good. Let's keep it going, let's keep it going. Okay, so we've got another question here on the Trabuco 11 video, which is strange because we uploaded that a long time ago, but always good to see that people are still watching it. Bought these shoes and they felt a little bit firm out on the first 20k run. Does the midsole need to break in a bit? And like a lot of trail shoes, yes it does. You know, it does feel maybe a little bit on the firm side when you first take them out of the box. I still think it feels comfortable, but it does bed in a bit, it does soften up a bit once you got sort of 40-50 miles into the shoe. However, I wouldn't say it's a deeply cushioned trail running shoe. You know, it's not going to give you the cushioning of a SpeedGo or a More Trail from New Balance, but I'd say it's still got that good sort of balance of connection and comfort. So you get a bit of ground feel and it does feel pretty comfortable. But yeah, it does need a bit of time just to bed in, okay? Okay, this is a good one. So if you've been following the channel, then you'll know that we're supposed to be heading out to Europe, fingers crossed if we can find a van. And over UTMB week, I'm going to be running the ETC for ASICS. So they contacted the channel and asked if we'd like to go out there and run it. Obviously we said yes. So it's actually a new race for the UTMB week and it's short. So it's 15 kilometers in length with 1,200 meters of elevation. One of the viewers of the channel is actually running it themselves and they've asked, will I be using poles on the day because it's a short race? The answer is yes, definitely. I always use poles when I'm in the mountains. So the 1,200 meters of gain across the race distance is pretty much one climb. So you're going to be going up a big mountain for a long time. You know, that's probably, you know, half the distance of the race is going to be going uphill. So a pair of poles will definitely help. They'll try and take a bit of pressure off the legs, save a bit of energy for when you're running down the other side to the finish. So the answer, am I going to be using poles? for the ETC at UTMB is a big fat yes. Yes, I will have my poles with me and I'll be using them all the way up that long climb. Can't wait, really looking forward to the event. Another one under the Traboco 11 video. I don't know what's going on with that video, but quickly I'll just answer it. So, can you use the Traboco 11 from ASICS as a casual shoe? Not really sure what you mean by a casual shoe. Do you mean an everyday shoe or do you mean a walking shoe? Well, it is a trail shoe, but yeah, you could use it for everyday use. You could use it as a hiking shoe, a walking shoe, not a problem. I know it's specifically a trail running shoe, but you could use it as everyday use if you wanted to. Good comment here. So under our sock extravaganza showdown video, which we filmed years and years ago, someone's just said, I've just found this sock video, absolutely loved it, thank you, glad you enjoyed it. Wish this could be done once or twice a year, which is actually a really good idea. Maybe we should do that. And they've put here, my feet became a bit of a mess over the years. I thought it was just the shoes, but I found a big part of my foot problems were coming from which socks I was wearing. On a quest now, trying to find which socks are right for me. It's hard because of where I live. I have to order most of my shoes and socks online, and I'm sure a lot of people are in that predicament with, you know, running specialist stores dying out, which is a real big shame. They said, so types of video like this really help. So maybe that's something we should do. Get in the comments, guys. Do you think we should do an update on our sock extravaganza review video? And do you think it's something we should do maybe a couple of times a year just to keep you updated on new brands or new models of socks coming out? So let us know in the comments below. How long have I got on my session? Okay, so we're down to the last 10 minutes on my session. How quick has that time gone? I can't believe it's been that quick already. Amazing. Okay, the next one is coming from our Canvara Pro video that we filmed a couple of weeks ago, and someone's asked, I wonder how these would compare with the Shift 3. So the Endorphin Shift 3 from Saucony is a sort of performance training shoe, but I would say it's very different from the Canvara Pro. The Canvara Pro actually has a carbon fiber plate in that midsole construction, and definitely a much softer, higher energy returning foam in the midsole. So you actually get top layer of Power Run PB in the Canvara Pro, whereas with the Shift 3, it is just Power Run, and then you get a Power Run Plus insole. So still a very comfortable shoe. I would say performance-wise, it's okay. It definitely doesn't feel as lively or as responsive as the Canvara Pro did out on its first run, that's for sure. So quite a lot of differences between the two shoes. If you're looking for something that's going to give you very high energy returning, performance related midsole construction for those sort of tempo runs, interval sessions in your training, then I would say the Canvara Pro would probably be the better option. If you want a shoe just for daily training runs, then I would say go for the Endorphin Shift 3. So I hope that helps you out. Okay, the next one comes off of a head torch review, and it's off the Phoenix HL32 RT trail running head torch review that we did on the channel recently, and it says better than the Nightcore UT27. What do you think? Well, I personally think they're both great running head torches. I think if I had to pick one, I'd probably go for the Phoenix torch. One, just because it's got a much brighter output. It gives you a very powerful lumens output, which would be bright enough for any conditions, but it also delivers a really good burn time on the battery. So a slightly brighter light and a longer battery life on the Phoenix torch compared to the Nightcore model. So yeah, I would personally go for the Phoenix HL32 RT if I had to choose between the two. This is something that we do get asked a lot at the channel, and this is off the back of when I did my full review on the new Norda 002. Someone said, super informative, thanks for a review. Thank you very much for that. Are you planning to do any reviews on the normal shoe? I see them popping up more and more these days, and yes, we definitely are. We actually contacted the brand and asked if they wanted to send out a couple of shoes for us to test and review. Unfortunately, no one ever got back to us, so I am actually going to buy a pair. I'm not sure which model to go for at the moment, so if you've run in them, if you run in a couple of models, again, get in the comments below and let us know which one you would say would be the best shoe to test on the channel. So yeah, when it comes to the normal trail running shoes, we'll definitely be getting hold of a pair soon and giving them a sort of full Run4Adventure treatment on the channel, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Okay, this isn't a question, but it's just a comment, and someone said under our Serpent Trail video from this year where we ran the 20K, a great video, shows the true power of the channel. Oh, that is the machine stopping, so that's my 30-minute session done. I can't believe how quick that's gone. Amazing. Time flies when you're having fun. The person said, looks like this could be my first ultra next year. Keep up the great work, Lloyd. Well, thanks for the positive comment. It means the world to us here, and you should definitely make the Serpent Trail your first ultra. A fantastic event to run your first 50k. There'll be lots of runners there in a very similar position to you. Super well organized, real great friendly atmosphere. Amazing trail as well. The 50k route is awesome to run. You'll be there really well supported out on the route, and lots of the runners will be in the same position. So it really helps to calm those nerves when you're taking on the ultra distance for the first time. So really glad you enjoyed the race day video, and best of luck. Hopefully we'll see you at the Serpent Trail 50k next year. Right, okay. I think we can do one more while these are just deflating a bit. Let's try and answer one more question. Okay, this is a good one actually. We get asked this a lot on the channel. It's not about running shoes, it's not about running kits, it's not about races or anything like that. It's actually about what software do we use to edit the videos on the channel. We actually use Adobe Premiere Pro, After Effects and Photoshop when we're editing the videos. Yeah, so we do use all the Adobe stuff. Like I said, it's not straightforward. It's not basic software when it comes to editing. I'm sure there is some more basic stuff out there, but you really can literally do anything with it. So yeah, Adobe Premiere Pro, Photoshop and After Effects for editing the Run4Adventure videos. Okay, moving on to the final question because my MyoPump session has finished. So this is under the Brooks Cascadia 16 video, and it says, I bought a pair of Cascadia 14s for hiking. Should I go for the 16? Is there much difference? Well, I personally think there is quite a bit of difference. The 16 is actually a wider shoe, so there's a bit more space in the toe box, but it also has a bit more depth of cushioning in the midsole, and I would say a slightly grippier, more aggressive outsole design as well. I personally think the 16 is actually quite a bit better than the 14. So if you've enjoyed your 14s, I dare say you'll really enjoy the 16s when it comes to your hiking. So there is a fair bit of difference, and I think the 16's a better shoe. So yeah, that's it. That's as many questions. I don't know what the clock says when it comes to the counter, but I think we answered a fair few in that 30-minute session in the MyoPumps. Really hope you enjoyed it. Really hope you found those answers really useful. We've got lots of things planned over the next couple of weeks when it comes to content. Obviously, we are going to be working super hard to try and sort the van issue out so we can head over to Europe, because not only we've got lots of commitments, but we want to bring you guys all that exciting content from the mountains, whether it be in Annecy, whether it be in Chamonix, the race in Slovenia, or on the way home when we pop into Austria. So fingers crossed that we can get a van sorted out, get it fitted out as a camper and hit the road in about 3 weeks time. Wish me the best of luck, that's for sure. And like I said, if you feel you can help in any way, get in the comments below or contact the channel. It really would be appreciated. Don't forget you can follow us on our other social media platforms, whether it be Instagram, Facebook or Strava. And if you want to support the channel in any way, we've got some great merch available, including these t-shirts at run4adventure.uk, or you can support us through our Patreon page for as little as £2 a month. Not only does that really help the channel out, but it also opens up a world of Run4Adventure perks. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, really appreciated. We'll be back here very, very soon, and as always, stay safe, keep on running.